the pitch is looped towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And it's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Well, Rico, can you move up a little bit? You look like a midget. Oh, you can't use the word midget anymore. I'm sorry.
Small, little person.
Yeah, you look like that. Nah, there you go. There you go.
Jeez.
Welcome to the Great, what, little wrinkle there? Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. Tom Zapp, my good friend, co-host, Red Sox Hall of Famer, Rico Petroselli. We have a good show today. We got our good friend in the middle there, the guy with the beard, Big Al Crisafulli from Love of the Game Auctions. Bottom left, Lee Behrens from Sterling Sports Auction. We got a lot to talk about, boy. You know something, Rico? You're gone for 1 week, and the whole hobby turns upside down. 1 week you're gone.
Well,
and the whole hobby turns upside down.
I was totally shocked.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. But first, a little PSA for our good friends at the National. Hey, collectors and sports fan, this one's for you. The National Sports Collectors Convention is teaming up with hobbyists like you to support Make-A-Wish Illinois and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital through the 2025 card raising sweepstakes, and it's your chance to win big for a great cause. Iconic prizes are up for grabs, like a 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle graded SGC 5, a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 9, and an incredible original painting by sports artist Murray Henderson titled Chicago Sports Legends. Here's how it works. Donate just $25 to enter, and yes, you can enter up to 40 times. The more you give, the more chances you have to win, and 100% of the proceeds are split evenly between St. Jude and Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Winners will be drawn on August 6th, and all terms will be on display at the 45th National Sports Collectors Convention. Don't wait. Head to nsccshow.com/card fundraising sweepstakes to enter. That's nsccshow.com card fundraising sweepstakes to enter, give back, and win big.
Well, that took 55 minutes of the show.
Well, you know something, it's for a good cause.
Goodbye. Listen, it's been great having you guys on.
Make-A-Wish, baby. It's good for Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish.
Of course.
I wonder how Tom spells cod.
CAD, yeah.
God.
CAHD.
All right, listen, let's get to Lee. Lee is with us for a few minutes. Lee, you're going to be at the National #1, but you have an auction going on right now. Why don't you tell us about what the key items are right now in your...
well, the big dog is the 52 Mantle. It's
very cool.
PSA 1, but that's about as budget-wise as easy as you're going to get dollar-wise. Right. A couple ungraded items that are kind of neat is Joe DiMaggio rookie, 36 or 312. And an old gold Jackie Robinson. Don't see those very often.
Lee, are you seeing more raw cards? Because a couple of dealers have mentioned it. I mean, people seem to, I don't know if they're not getting away from PSA, but are you getting more raw cards?
Well, yeah, if you look in this auction, I had one big consignment that was probably 75% raw cards. I'm breaking down a T206 set that I believe it's about 40% raw. The T13 coupons I have is all graded, but you definitely, there's collectors out there that they call binder collections, and some of them even crack them out of slabs.
Al, how about you? Are you getting more raw cards, or is it just...
yeah. You look at this auction, and you're going to have no problem finding the pre-war stuff is just loaded.
Could you tell the viewers what raw cards are? In case we got some young...
Cards that are not graded. Cards that are not graded.
Cards, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Al, what about you? Are you getting any raw cards? Is there an influx?
We always get them, we're still getting a lot graded. We're getting a lot graded, but that's just a lot of that is the nature of what we do, and Lee is kind of in a similar boat where we're bringing in, collections from old time collectors who've been in the hobby for a long time. And a lot of that legacy stuff has just never been graded.
Yeah. What else you got, Lee?
We got some SGC cards, a tough issue, Texas Tommy Connie Mack.
Great card.
Yeah, that is a nice card.
Here's the 2 highlighted coupons, T213. I got a Cobb and Walter Johnson.
Can you hold up the Cobb? He's holding the bat? Okay.
It's hard to know which way to go.
Yeah, there you go.
We got it.
Hey, Walter Johnson, but there's like 60 coupons in there. And I got a green Cobb, part of the set break. It's just a real nice assortment. Even here you go, a Michael Jordan Star Company for the people that collect that. It's a PSA 8.
Mm-hmm.
Goodwin Brothers. And a nice 4.5 Ted Williams from the 48 Leaf.
Lee, how many auctions do you do a year?
I do 8 auctions a year. So it's about every 6 weeks I fire up an auction. This one starts Thursday, July 24th. One bonus of Sterling is the only state I have to charge tax in is Minnesota, where I'm based out of. So if you're bidding on my auctions, you don't have to worry about paying tax.
Now you're basically a one-man operation, correct?
That's it. Yep. So if you want the personal touch,
unlike Crisafulli, who has a cast of 40 or 50 people at his fingertips.
Yes. Al and I started the same year at
1928. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. That's why Al's got the beard. He's finally catching up to him.
He looks good.
Actually, the beard does look pretty good.
Guy,
no, it really does. The beard does. It looks pretty cool. It really does.
Yeah, I've been really happy with what came in for this auction. Like I said, it's about probably 70% pre-war stuff and a lot of different issues. So if you're a type card collector, there's plenty in there.
All right. What's your website address?
SterlingSportsAuctions.com.
Starts when?
It starts Thursday, July 24th. So right around the corner.
And when does it end, Al?
2 weeks later, which is, I believe, Thursday, August 7th.
All right. So we're going to see you at the National. By the way, we're going to come by.
Nationals in booth 380. It'll be real easy to find. If you go straight ahead and you hit the wall, take a right. And if you hit the far right wall, you'll see me.
Well, we're going to find you because we're going to come by with our little cameraman and do a little interview with you. We'll see you at the National. Looking forward to it.
No, I am too. It's always fun.
See you next week, Lee.
Yeah.
Take care, Lee. We'll see you at the National, buddy.
You're good. Thanks.
Take care.
Lee Behrens from Sterling Sports Auction. Good guy. He's one of the good guys in you know what I mean? One of the genuine guys in the hobby. Really is. Just a good guy. All right, listen, we got a lot to talk about. All right. Now I know you have an auction that we're going to talk about. You're going to be at the National, but last week the hobby, in my opinion, was just, I don't even know what the word is to describe what happened in the hobby last week.
Wounded.
Wounded. Yeah, it was almost I don't want to say a mortal wound, but it was a critical wound. Let's put it that way. For those of you that know, and if you don't know, then you're not a collector. And if you're watching this, you're a collector, so you know. A absolutely huge, fraudulent, I don't even know what you call it. Criminal conspiracy took place, and it was the leader confessed to what was happening and wound up committing suicide when the FBI were closing in on him. But correct me if I'm wrong, Al and Rico, $350 million in forged and fake memorabilia out there in the modern market. Is that what you guys read, or did I read it wrong?
He claims,
yeah, that's what he said, right?
350 million sales.
So I guess the question, I have a lot of questions, Al, and you're a vintage guy. Number one, how does this, with some of the big names, companies that kind of got hornswoggled, Uh, how much does this damage or affect the modern market, card and memorabilia?
You really want my opinion?
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Really? Now, why? But
I mean, look, we've been dealing with this kind of story over and over and over again in this hobby, going back years. I mean, you can go back 20 years. There's one fraud investigation after another. Here's what we know about this hobby. People forge autographs like crazy and sell them as real. People trim cards. People shill bid auctions. Collectors just keep coming back. And so, it's, you like to think, the bad guys get what's coming to them. But has that happened in this hobby?
It hasn't. And I agree with you to a point. But to the extent of what happened here, I guess my question is, maybe by asking the question, does the modern market get hurt? But let's narrow it down. Do the LeBron James autographs, do the Tom Brady autographs, do those get harmed and watered down?
I mean, there's so much Operation Bullpen stuff floating around. Has that hurt Babe Ruth autographs? Look, the reality of this is that it frustrates me beyond belief. I mean, we all know who the bad actors are in the hobby. We all know who the sleazy guys are in the hobby, and yet they continue to be successful. They continue to be in business. It's aggravating to me. We try and do business ethically and honestly, and that was part of the reason why we founded Love of the Game. Part of the reason why I said, hey, you know what, I want to have an auction house, was because when there was so much going on in the hobby, so much bad stuff going on in the hobby in 2010 and 11, when I founded Love of the Game, I thought hobby really needs a company to come in here who does things the right way. And we've been at it for whatever it is now, 13 years. We're the smallest company. We're the smallest catalog auction. You would think that if the hobby really valued, ethics and transparency and honesty, that we'd be one of the biggest, right? And so, I get what you're saying, and I think it's horrible that that people, like regular people, are the people who lose when stuff like this happens.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's say, I'm sorry about interrupt, but let's say I bought now 100,000 Tom Brady items. Let's say I bought one of those items and found out that this is going on.
Yeah.
What do I do? Who do I go to? Is this guy, the money that he made, is it somewhere where I can get my money back?
That's a good question. That's a damn good question.
No,
the guy's dead.
Individuals.
Does Rico? Do you have recourse? That's a good question, Rick.
I'd love to know the answer to that. I'd love to know. Because there's a look. All of us, every one of us in this hobby has picked up a bad autograph or a trimmed card or something like that. We probably have more of that stuff in our collections than any of us care to admit. And so, I haven't seen any kind of historical precedence. There was one example where one of the people being investigated wound up giving back money to people that he hoodwinked. But even that was not, it was a fraction, So we have not seen a hobby that polices itself very well. We've seen just kind of a rotating, revolving cast of bad actors coming into the hobby and fooling people. And so, the only thing that I tell people is, you've got to learn. You've got to constantly be learning and understanding what it is that you're buying and what it is that you're collecting. Get as much provenance as you can when you buy signed articles, when you buy cards and things like that. The closer you can get to the original owner of that thing or the person who signed it, better off you're going to be.
Al, how are you as an auctioneer going to, what's the word, when somebody wants a consignment, they want to consign X amount of items, and one or a number of them are from, well, you don't know for sure, but it might be from one of these. So what do you do?
We've had stuff like that come in, and we do our best to catch it. We blacklight all valuable things. We look at all the, really thoroughly examine, valuable stuff that comes in. We make sure that everything that we sell has been authenticated by a reputable, PSA DNA or JSA or whatever. But there's still a leap of faith that has to happen there. My favorite collections are the original owner collections. These are the people who are not in the hobby, and we get a lot of those, which is great. And because again, the closer we can get to that original source, the more we are confident in what it is that we're selling.
Before we get into your auction, Al, and talk about the National, Rico, I have a question for you. When you were playing, during your playing days, did you guys see a lot of that? Listen, I know that like Mickey Mantle had clubhouse guys signing baseballs and Babe Ruth had clubhouse guys signing baseballs. Did you see a lot of that as a player?
No. We had to sign for a couple of seasons. They would put a dozen balls out there and everybody's supposed to sign them. I saw Yaz sign them, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So you guys never had clubhouse guys signing?
No. But we heard that there might have been Ted Williams, the clubhouse guy, might have signed a few. I don't know, but no. During my career,
no one did you, sir. No, you got a smirk on your face. Let's hear
it. I met a guy named Dennis Clotworthy. Dennis was a bat boy for the Detroit Tigers in the mid 70s.
Oh, God.
Super nice guy. I love this guy. And I sold a lot of his collection. It was probably 8 or 9 years ago that I did that. And he told me that in 1974-75, the Tigers used to send cases of baseballs to the local prison. And the prisoners... they would sign the balls with all of the different team. And so most of the 1970s baseballs or mid 70s baseballs signed by the Tigers were actually signed by different forgers at the prison. In 1974-75, people weren't buying that stuff for its financial value, but when Dennis handed me a 74 signed baseball, which is Al Kaline's last season, right? And so he handed me the baseball and he was like, now this one is a real, like they signed this ball right in front of me for me. It's not like one of these other, and I was like, oh, I'd never heard that story before. It's crazy, But
all right, let's get into and by the way, Rico, there's a contract that we cannot speak about, so look at your format and pay attention, okay? Please. This could go off the rails in 2 seconds, Al. But anyway,
wait a minute. What kind of contract?
We can't talk about it, Rico. So don't talk about it. Jim Brown rookie photo. Talk to me, because that's a cool piece.
Such a great piece. It is an 8x10 photo. That is the source photo for Jim Brown's 1958 Topps rookie card. Wow. There are this is a type 1, a newly discovered type 1. I believe there are 3 known, and the one that we have is by far the nicest one. And so I'm really excited about that. It's a significant photo, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that one. That should go crazy.
You get some other cool stuff. We were talking, I know you have a selection of Negro League cards.
Yes.
Oscar Charleston being one. Talk about those.
So we have the 1923-24 Tomas Gutierrez Oscar Charleston, which is one of his rookie cards and one of the very few playing day cards of a guy that's really one of the top 3 or 4 players to ever play the game.
Absolutely.
And this one is an SGC 4. It is a beautiful card. We sold one, I want to say it's a year, maybe 2 years ago for $140,000. So it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes. The one that I'm most interested in is a 1910 Punch Cigarros Herbacio Gonzalez, which is, the Punch Cigarros cards were issued on cardboard mounts, and they were meant to be cut away from the mounts and put into an album. And so almost all of the surviving examples from this set have been cut. They're just the photo trimmed away, or pulled away, peeled away from the, because there were photos glued to these cardboard mounts. There are, I believe, 4 known examples where the photo is still glued to its original cardboard mount, and this is one of them, and it's the nicest one. It's really beautiful. So it's impossibly rare. It is from a set that all by itself is impossibly rare. We've sold commons from this set for $10,000. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this one does with the cardboard backing.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the National, talk about the hobby, and of course, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's the next round of the GAX All-Star All-Time NBA Tournament. A little synopsis of the most recent game. Al's in the house for the whole hour. Rico's here. Rico, you look pretty good. Feeling all right? Feeling good?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Are you back on the golf course yet?
No, I got a six weeks recovery, and then they say, I got the doctor's appointment then.
Good.
And if everything's okay, I can
get back on the course. Awesome.
Woo-hoo.
All right, we can take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hang in there.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a 2-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back. You know, seriously, I've said this before. There is nothing better than a Ritz cracker, if you really think about it.
Oreos.
Nothing better than a Ritz cracker?
As a cookie. And the reason being, Oreo is very one-dimensional. You break it open, you right? Do you know what you can do with this thing?
You know what you can do with it?
between peanut butter and jelly and cheese.
That's great, Tom.
Rico, you're a New England guy. Lou knows. Lou, I'm going to ask just one question. Baked stuffed haddock. What is the best for baked stuffed haddock?
Ritz and seafood has always been pretty close. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah. It's time for our GAX AI all-time NBA basketball tourney, powered by Danny the Basketball Savant and sponsored by our good friend Paul Borges and PB Collectibles. Go to pbcollectibles.com for your favorite cards. And if you have a bitch about this great idea of mine, don't call them. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't call me. Call them. All right. This week's tournament was week 4. And this was I'm sorry, week 4 or week 5? I'm sorry, week 5. This was a great game. The 1966-67 Philadelphia 76ers versus the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers. Keep in mind that Philly is number 5 ranked and 76ers, they were number 12. And here's a little synopsis of the game. In this hypothetical game between the 66-67 Philly 76ers and 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers, the outcome was actually very difficult for AI to predict. 76ers led by Wilt Chamberlain and considered one of the greatest teams in NBA history. They finished with an impressive 68-13 record and won the championship, ending the Boston Celtics dynasty. Some of their strengths: strong scoring team. They averaged 125 points per game. Chamberlain focused on playmaking, rebounding, and defense, leading the league in rebounding and finishing third in both scoring and assists. He had a pretty good cast of characters to go along with him: Hal Greer, Billy Cunningham, Chet Walker, Luke Jackson, and a few others. Now, on the other hand, the 2000-2001 Lakers were led by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Now, you would think, wow, those two of the greatest players that ever lived. They finished the regular season with a 56-26 record and went on to win the NBA championship. Obviously, they were a very, very powerful scoring duel, and O'Neal was named NBA champ. However, that particular team over the course of the season struggled with turnovers, and their cast of characters was not that great. Derek Fisher, decent ball player. Rick Fox, Horace Grant, not household names. Maybe Fox was. So here's the analysis of what happened here. As I said, Chamberlain was a dominant force. Cunningham, Chet Walker really, really helped the situation. And when it all came down to it, the improved defense of the 76ers and the dominant offense of the 76ers led them to victory over the 2000-2001 Lakers by a score of 76ers 96, the Lakers 91. A very, very close game. And you know something, I kind of agree with this one because I know how great Shaq was and Kobe was, but if you look at Wilt, I mean, does Wilt offset Shaq? I don't know, but the other characters, I agree, were pretty damn good.
Yeah, but you know, one thing they had then at that time and a little later was the rivalry. In other words, Shaq against whoever was another great center. You know what I mean? Remember Wilt Chamberlain against Russell.
That was it. Well, no, there were a couple of them. Nate Thurman, there was a few others.
I'm saying that's what they had then.
Oh, right.
It was the games were built up. Hey, how about the Lakers and the Celtics all those years with Bird, Larry Bird, and Johnson? Same thing in baseball.
I've been saying this, and
I've
been saying this. I said it to Rico, and I said it to Mallory. Actually, Mallory brought it up, and he makes a good point. With the older, and I'm not talking the 61 Celtics. I mean, the 61 Celtics would have gotten creamed. All right. Yeah. However, a lot of the modern teams, I think the difference between the throwback teams and the modern teams is the 3-point shooting. I think that's a large part of it. There were some of those teams with like Jerry West. I think, they would have held their own. Sam Jones. But overall, I think the 3-pointers. Al, you wanted to circle back on Man Cave. What do you got?
Yeah, I feel like I want to get across the point that I sound like super negative and super down on this. This is the greatest hobby that there is, and it's still the greatest hobby that there is, even though something like this happened. But I do think that it takes a concerted effort on the part of all of the people with the money, the people who are buying stuff, to hold back and stop doing business with sleazy people. Stop doing business with people who are untoward and unethical and things like that. I know sometimes they have a thing you feel like you can't live without it. You can. There's another one. Most things that you can buy, there's another one. It might seem like it's the rarest thing in the world, but be selective about who you do business with.
All right, so let me throw this out at you because you're bringing up a damn good point without mentioning companies.
Yeah.
All right. Without mentioning companies.
Yeah, I don't like to do that, but we all know who they are.
But did some of these companies, from what I've read, some of them knew about what was going on quite a while ago. And point being is, how do you interpret that? Do you interpret it that, hey, we know it's going on, but guess what? We're selling these products and we're getting money for them. Is that a possibility?
I mean, companies have a responsibility to try and try and combat fraud, like when the fraud has to do with their own product. And I sort of take for granted that companies do that. Not just companies in our hobby, but companies in every industry.
In general, right.
But I also know that there are times that it's really difficult to do, and I used to work in the electronics business, and my company made the company I worked for made things like blank tapes and universal remotes and television antennas and things like that, right? And we found that there was a company overseas that had knocked off our logo and was making their own products and selling them and trying to pass them off at as ours. Really hard to combat that. And so you have to just kind of do your best to up your own game and make it harder for them to do it. But how do you go after a company in China that that's doing this? I mean, how do you legally do it? And so, I'm sure that there are situations where we can sit here on the outside and say, well, why didn't they do more? Customers want to pay as little as possible for a thing. And so sometimes security costs money, sometimes innovation costs money, and that money, that cost has to be passed on to people who want to pay for it. And so there's a lot of factors that we probably don't know about.
Guys, is it the old real estate saying, buyer beware?
Yeah, for sure, Rico. I mean, what was interesting about this particular situation is that, if I understand it correctly, they were actually, it's not like they were forging autographs and getting them past grading companies. They were forging autographs, holograms, and all this. It was just completely bypassing the grading companies altogether.
Exactly.
So maybe there needs to be some kind of an improvement in technology, that allows you to just not look at a hologram, because anybody can make a hologram, right? So,
well, I mean, and we've talked about this, Al. Again, we've always referred to it, not just me, but generally in the hobby, we refer to it as manufactured rarities. And I mean, a lot of the blame has to go to the creation of that whole part of the hobby. I mean, listen, we've talked about it a zillion times. Babe Ruth is dead. Ty Cobb is dead. They're not coming back. But yet you can buy 400 different versions of a Mike Trout rookie card because it's got this here or this hologram or it's this color.
Yeah.
It's,
you know what though, Zap, I can play devil's advocate here. You can go on eBay right now and there's 100 reprint counterfeit Babe Ruth rookie cards, and there's probably 1,000 counterfeit Babe Ruth autograph cards. I mean, fraud exists everywhere in this hobby, and I don't want to give the impression that it's just modern people that are dealing with this. This is a thing that we deal with all the time. Card trimmers and things like this. I might argue that it actually happens more on the vintage side, because on the vintage side, when you're buying vintage cards, you're really paying a super premium for condition. And so there's a lot more of an incentive there to clean up an X condition card and make it a near mint card.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think no matter where you are in this hobby, and no matter what it is that you collect, you need to be really careful about when you're starting to spend money. If you're not pulling it out of a pack yourself, you need to be buying it from a reputable source. I have a consignor, and I keep going back to this one person who, time and time again, this person's been in the hobby for decades, and time and time again, this person is, I got a great source for autograph, always looking for I got a great deal on this, and that's when this person is buying from some little fly-by-night auction house that's selling fraudulent stuff and is going to disappear tomorrow with his money, or photographs that are not original photographs that are positioned as type 1, but they're actually just digital prints. All of these things exist, and it's up to us as consumers to root it out. There's no governing body. There's no good housekeeping seal of approval in this hobby, and there never has been. And so that provides cover for people who don't want to do the right thing. So it becomes our job as individual consumers to share information, use message boards and social media and things like that to build up those companies that are reputable, and make sure that everybody knows who has a good reputation. They should be buying from auction houses that have reputable, that are reputable companies, and focusing on manufacturers and authentication companies that are reputable. The pandemic how many grading companies popped up during the pandemic? We don't know who they are. I saw one where you send in the cards and tell them what grade you want on the cards.
That's good.
If you buy that card and it's an 8 and then you send it into PSA and get a 4, don't be surprised, and so it's just like it blows my mind that you would go and buy a used car, for $10,000, say, and you're gonna go with that. You're gonna want your mechanic to see it, and you're gonna want to look at the Carfax, and you're gonna want to know, has that car ever been in an accident? And you're gonna go through as much due diligence as you can before you write a check for $10,000 to pay for that car. But you'll look at a thing on eBay and just boop, click the button because it's got a
point.
So you have to use that same due diligence when you're buying anything. And so there are great people in this hobby. There are really reputable people in this hobby, and it's important to patronize those companies and not the sleazy ones.
Al, do you take Rick? Jump in here. At the National, Al, obviously, we had Joe Drellick, and last week we had Joe on, along with Brian and Jimmy and their communications guy for the whole show. And the security this year at the National is unprecedented, based on what they told us. I mean, just in the venue now, that has nothing to do with the National, they've installed 200 cameras.
Wow.
Around the venue, not including what the National is doing, undercover armies of people.
Great.
So it's really, after speaking with them, I'm not even a dealer, and I felt pretty comfortable based on what Joe was talking about relative to. Now, you're there, and you've got a couple of other people with you, right? I mean, you have to have 20 sets of eyes, correct? Especially if you're pretty busy.
It's always been that way, and we usually have a lot of traffic in our booth because we're sort of social guys, and we've always got a lot of stuff that you don't see very often. So collectors come by and they want to take a look, and it's a thing that we worry about a lot, and we're really super careful about it. Everything stays locked. We seldom take things out of cases and put ourselves in a position where but this is not to victim blame, and say, well, the other guys weren't paying attention or any of this. Everybody does that. So it's always a concern, but,
Isn't it's so sad that this is going on. I guess, I mean, it's happened since, Adam and Eve, I guess.
Rico, when you first started, Rico, when you first started with us, when we started the show, now that's 9 years ago. I mean, it wasn't, listen, all this, as Al's saying, all this stuff was going on, but it doesn't seem as though it was as bad as it is today. And I think as the technology increased, the bad guys increased with their technology.
Not just technology, the numbers, the money.
Well, that's true.
And so these crooks, it's
By the way,
I just bothers
I know. By the way, for our viewers and listeners, as you know, we're going to be broadcasting from the National on Friday, the Friday of the National from 1 to 3, and Big Al is going to be with us for the entire second hour, along with two of his favorite crazy, I won't even say it, Joe Tomasulo and Derek Grady will be on stage with Al for the entire hour. So that's going to be kind of interesting.
There's never been such a collection of sexy people
Absolutely.
at the National ever in the history.
And we're gonna have, we've got giveaways. We're gonna get into some great topics. We're gonna obviously highlight what these gentlemen have at their booths. Rico is not going to be there, but we have a couple of signed Rico cards we're going to be away. By the way, I got my son, Rico, my grandson Johnny. Yeah, he's mass producing. I've got him making your signature. He's got it perfect now. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
That's good.
So wait, is it going to be just you, Zach? Or you Mallory?
Yeah, Ellen and I are going to be there. We're traveling solo this year. Yeah.
Oh, no Mallory?
Mallory's, listen to this one. Rico's got Red Sox stuff. Mallory, it's his 60th birthday that weekend. So they're throwing a big bash for him. And Rico and I are not going to be there because I'm in Chicago and Rico's doing some Red Sox crap.
Wow. What are you going to do? You know, got responsibilities.
Yeah, responsibilities.
But,
it's called.
I know that.
I know that. Al, before we take, we have one more second, but before we take a break, real quickly, I know you heard Rico and I speaking about his health, and last week, week before last, we had Rico on. Rico had to have a pacemaker put in, and and he's doing great. But the day that it happened, I was supposed to talk to him because we were supposed to go out to dinner. He never returned my call. I spoke to Elsie. I says, Elsie, where is your husband? She said, he's in the hospital. I says, is he doing okay? She says, no, he's really pissed. I said, why? Because he was supposed to appear at Fenway Park and he lost X amount of dollars. That's all he was concerned with.
Wait a minute. How about the other one in New Hampshire?
That's right. You had two, right?
I had 2 days. That was
thousands. He says, I lost thousands.
I tell you. Well, listen, that man's got can't live on.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We got one more segment with Al. I know we're running a little late like we always do. And then we have On Deck with Rico. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a 2-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden Auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Are you a collector looking for that rare trading card or autograph ball or photo? If so, then PB Collectibles in Newport is the place for you. PB Collectibles has graded cards, raw cards, complete sets, and wax boxes of the stars of the future, today, and from the past. We also offer a large selection of both vintage and modern cards. So whether you're looking to add to your collection or sell it, visit us at PB Collectibles, 269 Spring Street in Newport, located across from St. Mary's Church. We are your neighborhood card shop and much more.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Ding. Okay, we are back with Al Crisafulli. What are you doing?
Am I talking to myself? I thought I was going to do the
tagline.
That's how I'm doing the tagline.
Oh, you got to wait till we come back on the air.
I didn't know when we were back. Come on, give the kid a break.
What is wrong with you? By the way,
look at me.
By the way, I got to tell you something. Michael sent me a bunch of these Petroselli marketing pens, right? Yeah. So I start writing one. I said, these damn things, they don't even write. Then I noticed there's a little red thing.
Yeah, you got to take it off the top.
And I pulled off, and actually, they're great pens.
No, it's there's a lot of competition.
They don't even work, but it really is.
I'll say that.
Good pen.
No, he does a great job, and we're trying to get some of the guys, that are auction houses to do
Crisafulli. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, how about come on?
You use pens, right?
They give away.
I need pencils because they have erasers for all my mistakes.
No, I understand.
No, Michael does a great job. Petroselli Marketing.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we have a new sponsor. Then we have to get back to Al. Rico, we have a new sponsor, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency.
Excellent company. Excellent company. We looked into them, and they are fabulous.
Yeah, they are, actually. Everybody
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled a love of collecting in Tom Jr., the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. With a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectible insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectible insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there is no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectible hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance, really. Our good friend and hobby legend, John Tabby, JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to, let me spell it, THEFIA.com. The FIA. All right? That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion. By the way, Al and Tom, isn't this, especially now, a good idea?
Insurance is huge.
Insure your cards?
Huge.
I don't know if they would cover that.
Have you ever heard such a velvety live read? Like just
when I do.
I mean, that's just it's like listening to Sinatra sing.
I'll tell you, if you want to hear
they said I sound like him.
No, if you want to hear a good Petroselli read, you got to listen to Lucy's Love Bus, the cancer thing. Because he actually put thought and love into that. You really did.
Absolutely.
All right, listen, before we get back to Al, it's time for our segment On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend and Al's good friend, Brian Dwyer, and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. This week's question, Rick.
Yeah.
I like this question. Submitted by Mike Jewett. Rico, what are your thoughts on the automated ball strike systems along with umpires that are being used?
That stinks. That's what. That's not baseball. That's going a little too far. Yeah, when the hitter can challenge the pitch. Okay, hold up everything. Let's see. Oh, it's a strike. That's bullcrap. You know, come on. I mean, it's getting a little too ridiculous. But I don't like this. You got to have a human factor in there.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I could you see Al? Could you see Petroselli where he's at bat and the pitcher questions? They call a ball, and the pitcher challenges it, and then it becomes a strike. What do you think Petroselli's going to do?
I think he's going out to the mound.
Absolutely.
I think.
There's
It's ridiculous. I mean, you know, but no, it's more pauses in the game. They think it's such a great idea.
You would have been so pissed off if you were at bat. If you were at bat and they changed from a ball to a strike, you would have been so pissed off. It would be.
I hate this so much. I hate robot umps. I hate instant replay.
Terrible.
I hate you know. If you're a Major League Baseball player, say you're a shortstop and you drop a lot of balls, right? You can't hit. You know what they do? They send you down. But if you're an umpire, you get to be C.B. Buckner or Angel Hernandez and be horrible. Oh, and what do? They're going to put robots in to correct your calls. Fire the bad umps and replace them with capable qualified umps.
I couldn't agree more.
They have. I love the tools where they can can show you like, oh, this umpire missed 11 calls today. This umpire, you know, what's an acceptable amount of calls to miss? And then if they're missing more calls than that, send them down to AAA and let them work out their stuff and get better.
I think we're all
bring
bring
the good ones from AAA up. They get a chance.
Yeah, I think they've gone a little overboard, and I think also, Rico, we've talked about it. The whole guy on second base for extra innings. That's ridiculous.
It's like wiffle ball.
It is. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hey, Al, let's talk about, anything else you want to talk about on the auction now? And then we'll talk about
it's really a good auction. It's we've got a run of 44 1910 Sweet Caporal hockey postcards that are so super rare. And we've got almost the complete set that we're selling individually. We've got so many Caribbean cards, Cuban cards, and of Negro Leaguers, Negro League Hall of Famers, Pop Lloyd, Cristobal Torriente, just so much stuff that if you've got an interest in, we got our biggest ever assortment of Japanese cards in this auction. If you're interested in stuff that you don't see every day in this hobby, this is a time. LoveTheGameAuctions.com, and this airs on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, actually, right. So as we're speaking, it's airing, Al. Today is Tuesday. It's airing tomorrow, which is tonight, because now people are watching it.
I'm so damn confused.
What the hell did he say?
I don't know. Tonight, Wednesday
there you go.
Night,
go.
The auction goes live tonight.
There you go.
So have dinner, have a drink, watch your television show, and then tonight before you go to bed, check in at
Bingo. Now you're getting there. You've only been on for years. Now you're getting the hang of
it. I never know when it's today, what the day is. It's just normal.
Hey, by the way, we had a special thanks. A lot of you know, Ellen and I were at the Hall of Fame. We just got back on Friday. They could not have been more gracious to us. We were honored to be there. We spoke about the Diamondback collection. We did a book signing. It was really cool to be in the bowels of the Hall of Fame, behind the scenes and stuff. Yeah. And so special thanks to Bruce Markinson and Josh Rowich for having us, and we had a ball. Rico, I looked for your bat. I couldn't find it. I looked for the 40th home run bat. I couldn't find it. I looked for it.
No, who knows? They might be downstairs. But anyway, geez, I want to be in the bowels of something someday too, don't you, Al?
You can make light of this. You can certainly make light of this.
What's the bowels? Where's
the bowels? Mean the inner sanctum.
I'm saying, yeah. I know it's the inner sanctum.
You know what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like. See, you can't appreciate it, but it's like being in the dugout or the clubhouse at Fenway or in the green.
In the bowels. Yeah.
In the bowels.
In the bathroom. And
that's the only part of the Hall of Fame that they'll let Tom in is the bowels.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something, though.
No, that's
one thing about Cooperstown. Great little shops.
Great.
Yeah.
There's like one decent restaurant in the whole town. I mean, they're god awful. With all due respect, people in Cooperstown. But
you have to go to the Ommegang Brewery if you're a beer guy. That's the mecca.
No,
the Belgian style brewery there in Cooperstown.
Oh, the other thing we stayed at, they just opened, just for hotels, they're like on any, but they just opened up a Hampton Inn 1 month ago. So that's where we stayed, at the Hampton Inn. And it was
$39 an hour.
No, it was actually quite nice. All right, Al, you're going to be at the National.
Yes.
What are you highlighting it? Come on, baby.
We're going to have a bunch of the stuff that we have in this auction. We're going to be accepting consignments at booth number 1021 and 1023. Andrew and I will be there. Tim Gallagher, our consignment guy, will be there. Spike Glidden will be there, our copywriter. So there'll be four of us. And come by, say hello. 1021 and 1023 are the booth numbers right over by PSA. And come say hi and bring us your consignments.
Now, we are not coming over to your booth with a camera crew because you're going to be on camera for an hour. So you're
when is that? That's Friday, right?
Friday. If you don't show up, I am going to track you down like a dog because you have with all due respect, your track record is not.
I thought you were going to have me.
What happened? Oh, see, notice he said
I'm on with Derek Grady. I'm on with Grady, and all right, but you know,
you're on with Grady and Tomasula, man. That's a
one thing about Grady is that when I'm standing next to him, I look great.
That's a very good point. Very good point. So, all right, listen, we're just about out of time. Rick, we'll talk to you down the road. I'll talk to you next week. Actually, Rick, we got to get together. Ellen's bugging me. So we got to get together. But, we didn't know if you were on death's doorstep or not. Now that you're back,
no.
We're good. We're good.
Oh,
Al, as always, man, look forward
to being with you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I miss you, Rico.
I miss you, man. I tell you, I wish I could be at the National, but I
you know why, Al? You know why?
Don't believe him. Don't believe him. No money. No, I don't care about money.
Yeah.
I would even go to Fenway Park if they were paying me.
Well,
I mean, it's probably the only, but.
Well, Yankees. Let's talk about the Yankees.
Oh, my God. Has there ever been a more boring baseball team than the Yankees right now?
It's just a matter of time. They're going to wind up in third place.
Oh,
That's
so
a third
boring.
Place team.
If they don't, I think maybe even worse. If they don't hit a home run, they can't win.
I'm telling you, don't count out the Boston Red Sox. These young kids are starting to play. Yeah, you can make your little face, but I'm telling you.
They're getting good starting pitching, the Red Sox.
I don't see anybody beating Detroit.
I'll tell you what, man. Chicago's got a good team. I'm talking about to win the World Series. To win the World Series.
Yeah?
Chicago's got a really good team.
There's two Chicagos. Which one?
Detroit.
Not the White Sox freak. the Cubbies. The Cubbies. All right, guys. To our viewers and listeners, again, Louis, we ran a little late, not that much. Al, we'll see you at the National. Rico, we'll talk to you next week. And to our viewers and listeners, happy collecting.
Take care, guys.
Be good.
We'll see you.